And what's good, everyone? Welcome in. Glad to have you guys back in Friday night tonight for some college hoops here. Doubleheader. Big 12 Conference got their semifinals, their conference tournament going on tonight here as we get the first game being covered. The number 5 seeded TCU Horned Frogs taking on the number 1 seed, the Kansas Jayhawks in this matchup. The winner of this game will move on to the Big 12 championship game tomorrow night. This will be the third meeting that these two teams have played in the month of March, as we're going to have a good one, hopefully, between these two teams going down. Welcome in, Behind the Arc fan. Glad to have you back at the stream once again, brother. Chiefs fan, welcome in. TCU coming into this matchup. They are right now a dangerous team. What they look to be possibly either an 8 or a 7 seed, according to Joe Lunardi, an 8 seed. Jerry Pond from CBS has them as a 7 seed. And yeah, no number 1 seed is going to want to face a team like the Horned Frogs based on how they've been playing lately. This team is super sneaky. TCU has got victories over the past 2 weeks against Texas Tech, Kansas, and Texas. And coming off the first game against Kansas, they won. Allowed Kansas to shoot the ball just 37% from the floor in that first matchup, 74-64 on March the 1st. Both of these teams played once again in Kansas, where Kansas took the second matchup, 72-68 on March the 3rd. And tonight, Friday, March 11, once again they meet 8 days later. Part of the semifinals for Champ Week here. Kansas coming in number 1 seed in the Big 12 Conference, 26-6, coming off 3 straight victories in a row over TCU, Texas, and West Virginia. Last game, Kansas pummeling the Mountaineers, 87-63. TCU down by 20, no problem. Came back, beat Texas by 5, 65-60. Jay Ramirez, welcome in, man. Glad to have you back in. I heard about that. It's crazy there. So Deshaun Watson, no matter his 20-plus charges that he had against him, looks like he's a free man right now. Steven, welcome in, taking TCU by 1 off of Mike Miles' buzzer beater. Yeah, man, he's had a great season this year. This whole TCU squad incredibly improved this year. And good to see for them to make the bracket. Now, they are officially a lock for the bracket for TCU. They've been a lock for around the last week plus, coming off massive wins to get them there. And yeah, Mike Miles leading the team, sophomore, scoring around 15 points per game. And they got solid players who stepped up. Their center is 6'11", 300 pounds, Eddie Lampkin, a freshman. And TCU gave Kansas a whole lot of trouble on the glass. Between these two teams in the meeting, TCU plus 15 in the rebound advantage, 45-30 for the first matchup that they had in the rebound advantage, 80-65 total between the two games. Yeah, Texas A&M with a big upset this afternoon, so Texas A&M might have put themselves into the bracket because of that. So these games go by so quickly. That's the first time I saw it. They showed the highlight yesterday of Mike Miles. He went down against Texas, but it looks like Mike Miles is okay, and he's going to get the start tonight in this game. But that was a scary scene yesterday. He had to leave the game in a wheelchair yesterday against Texas. We're going to tip off in just a moment. Bradley, welcome back in, man. Kansas white uniforms, blue numbers, blue letters, red outline. TCU in the purple jerseys tonight, white numbers, white letters. I believe this is the first time I've ever covered TCU on streaming, so good to see. New team added into the mixes. Here we go. We're underway. Big 12 tournament semifinal begins. TCU controls the tip first. They bounce past it to the top. Emmanuel Miller gives it off to Damian Bowe, and now they move it out to the baseline off to Miller. Miller backs his way. Inside the key, bounce pass, right baseline. Chuck O'Bannon fires up a jumper. He hits it. TCU on the board first. TCU, a really good second chance rebounding team. Top 10 nationally in offensive rebounds. Not the greatest field goal shooting team as far as efficiency. They struggle from 3-point range, but if they can bring this game winning their defense, they have a chance. Kansas, extremely efficient as they have it down inside the low post. Turnaround, McCormack missed off the mark, and TCU rips it away with a defensive rebound. Exactly what TCU wants to do throughout this game, bring the physicality, and they did right there, grabbing their first board. 80-65 through the first two matchups combined by TCU on the glass against Kansas, plus 15. TCU second possession. They will slow it down. It's Damian Bowe at the top. Bowe defended by Jalen Wilson. Dribbles up to the free throw circle. Bounce pass Lampkin. Turn around. He hits it. Eddie Lampkin listed at 6'11", a freshman, 300 pounds from Katy, Texas. They have some big boys in the squad here for the Horned Frogs. Alex, welcome in. Glad to have you back in, man. Yeah, that'll be quite the night if we get some more upsets tonight. Wilson will take a shot at a three. That comes up way short. Air ball. Rebound back to TCU. It's Mike Miles. Miles attacks straight to the cup, driving, and missed off the glass. Kansas comes out with a defensive rebound. Exactly where they wanted to attack it, though. Kansas giving up around the 320th most two-point attempted shots in the nation to opponents. Agbaji lights out all season long, takes the three, and he makes it at the corner. Can BYU make it to the tournament? I think it's going to be tough right now. I say no. I think they're going to be a 2 seed in the NIT. TCU with a possession at the elbow. Damian Bowe, bounce pass down low off the Lampkin. He scores up and in off the backboard. Vegas, welcome in, man. Glad to have you back in. Great matchup so far. TCU scoring 6 points in the first 2 minutes, 15 seconds. Kansas with the ball at the wing. Agbaji dribbles into the key, floats up the runner, missed off the back rim, offensive rebound McCormack. Puts up another one, and that one goes. Later tonight, I'll be covering the second game of the doubleheader, Texas Tech against Oklahoma. Feel free to join in for that one as well. Texas Tech shredded Iowa State last night. In the late game, Oklahoma pulled off the upset over Baylor yesterday. Out to the corner, here's a three on its way. Chuck O'Bannon as he missed off the back rim. Agbaji moves up the floor quick to Brown. Brown, Euro step straight down the lane. Missed off the glass. Had a golden opportunity to score and couldn't cash it home. 3 minutes through. TCU back with the ball. Damian Bowe at the wing. And they turn it over. That's been a problem all this season for the Horned Frogs. 14 turnovers they're averaging per game this season. Jerome, welcome back in, man. Great matchup here. Both of these teams looking to improve seed lines. Kansas, with a win, they're probably going to get the number 1 seed in the bracket. Since Auburn fell today, Baylor fell yesterday, opens up the door for Kansas, which Kansas is borderline between a 2 or a 1. Wilson attacks, lays it up and in with the right hand. Kansas on top 7-6. And TCU looking to see if they can avoid playing against the 1 seed in the second round. If they can move up with a victory today to around a 7 seed, would set them in a much better level in the bracket, potentially, if they're able to face a team like Wisconsin or Duke. Yeah, big win for your Razorbacks today. BYU needs Dayton to lose against UMass right now. BYU is going to need Wyoming to lose tonight. They're going to need SMU to lose. SMU, Virginia Tech, Oklahoma all to lose tonight. And Dayton to lose, as Dayton's playing against UMass right now, which UMass is leading. Kansas, driving straight to the cup. They missed the layup. TCU made a 3 right before that. 9-7. These Horned Frogs challenging everything so far. Bounce pass. Low block. Number 12, Xavier Cork moves it outside. Bounce pass back to Cork from Farabello. Down low. Cork puts one up. Gets it blocked first time by McCormack. And tipped up in the defensive rebound. Pulled down by Agbaji. 15.5 left to go in the first. DeJuan Harris moves it out towards his left. McCormack. Bounce pass. Left baseline. Dribble. Agbaji. Passes it out to the corner. Wilson. Wilson moves it on top. Brown fires away from 3. He hits it. And it's a Kansas lead by 1. UNC is going to probably be an 8 seed. If they keep on winning, they'll probably move up to a 7 for UNC. UNC might win the whole ACC championship based on how they've been playing lately. This is Micah Peavy, number 0, transfer from Texas Tech, but took it down the lane, got called for the travel. That's TCU's second turnover. So we're going to take a timeout on the floor, first time on the game. Kansas up by 1, 10-9 to score with 14:51 left to go in the first. SMU, I think they're tipping off right now against Tulsa. I'll take a look at that. Miami leading Duke 15-7. SMU leading Tulsa 11-9. We'll keep you guys posted throughout scores during the course of the night as Creighton's up over Providence 30-25. UMass leading Dayton at halftime 36-34. Dayton loses, Dayton's out. Tennessee beating Mississippi State by 2 at the half, 39-37. National Player of the Year, I'm going Oscar Tshiebwe. Yeah, Tennessee's had some trouble with scoring spells this season. A lot of upsets we've seen so far. If you guys are new in the stream, hit the thumbs up, spike the like, hit the subscribe. Hit me up in the chat. Who do you got in this one tonight, TCU or Kansas? I'm glad to have you guys be a part of the stream. Textbook matchup so far in favor of TCU, keeping their team right into the game early. It's through their defense. Kansas, an extremely efficient shooting team this season, but when they play TCU, they've been held to under 44% both of the games. I'm going to take Arkansas tomorrow there over Texas A&M. Yeah, so Texas A&M, it's been a run. Shocking run for them. I think they've got enough to make it to the bracket now. Because Auburn would have lost today. They were up as many, I think, by like 20 at one point in that game for Texas A&M. And then Auburn decides to come back with under 10 minutes left to go, but their comeback falls up too short. Which, during the regular season, they were able to do that. They were able to be trailing, come from behind against teams like Georgia and Missouri. That worked out. But when you're on neutral floor, when the stakes are higher, and a team that's much better, like Texas A&M, then Texas A&M able to escape with that victory today. Yeah, so Texas A&M has come out of nowhere, and now they're part of the bracket. This team was 15-2 at one point, and then they went on a monster losing streak, and then throughout the course of the last week, they show up, and they start winning games again. Yeah, Gonzaga, Arizona. Yeah, I go Kentucky if they win out, and if Kansas wins the Big 12 championship, Kansas would be the one. I think Baylor's probably going to drop to the 2. Yeah, Duke would have to win the ACC championship to get to the 1. So we come back from the timeout, 10-9 to score. Kansas with a quick answer, down at the rim, able to get one to go. That is Mitch Lightfoot. First time into the game for him, super senior, able to score down low. TCU with a possession. Farabello at the top of the key, dribbles towards his left, gives it off to Bow. He moves it out to the wing, off to Micah Peavy. Peavy defended by Agbaji at the wing, moves it outside Damian Baugh. He'll jack up a 3. That is way off the mark, and it goes out of bounds. That's not their game right there for TCU. If they start to get down in this matchup, it's going to get tougher and tougher for them to come on back because they're just not an efficient type of shooting team to get themselves back into the game. But they did against Texas. Big reason why is because through their defense, able to just have Texas just stagnant. But Kansas, a really good scoring team. It's going to get difficult if they find themselves trailing here against the Jayhawks. Using their size, once again, Mitch Lightfoot, back-to-back buckets. So it's 14-9 Kansas. Lightfoot off of a little turnaround hook down inside the post. Has some size advantage working on court. Can just floats it up and scores. TCU with the ball at the top. Lampkin. Bounce pass it over to Miles. Miles defended at the Phillips 66 logo. Moves it out to his left to Damian Baugh. Now out to the wing, off to O'Bannon. O'Bannon bounce pass to the elbow. It's Lampkin. Lampkin backs his way, lost the handle of the ball. Able to dribble in the sea of defenders, able to get it off. Peavy passes on top. Miles takes the 3, 1 in the shot clock, not even close. That is 2 straight air balls by TCU, as Kansas will come up with the basketball once again with 13:20 left to go in the first. Everything that TCU will have to do will have to be at the rim in this matchup. Lob over the top. They couldn't guard the rim that time. Agbaji, backdoor cut, throws it down with a two-handed flush. They catch you off guard like that. These starters on this Kansas team are so good. TCU with the ball at the wing. Lampkin hands it off to Miles. Miles at the top of the key, dribbles back, defended by Brown. Miles starts his dribble drive attack. Now up to the mid-block. Moves it outside off to Bow. Dribbles up into the key, gives it out to the baseline. O'Bannon out to the corner, able to make the pass. Falling away, tough shot. And they stepped out of bounds with it too. That is 3 straight turnovers by TCU. Man, just disappointing start here for the Horned Frogs in this one. And this game is just slipping right away from them right now. What's good? CF on the stream. Welcome in, man. Best of luck tonight with UConn. Big game going on. UConn and Nova after Providence Creighton later tonight. Kansas with the ball once again. Wilson dribbles into the key. Spin move as he will go down inside the low post. Puts it up and in. Scores. That's good for 2 more by Jalen Wilson of Kansas. And a timeout taken by TCU now. Jamie Dixon has to burn one, 18-9. This is a Kansas 11-zip run in the last 3 minutes. Kansas getting right to the rim. And TCU started off really good physicality on their team. But could they keep it up the whole game? And right now they've gone completely flat and they've gone stagnant offensively. And just haven't been able to get any sort of answer with buckets for the past 3+ minutes. So we take the timeout here. 12:20 left to go in the first. If you guys are new in the stream, hit the thumbs up, spike the like, hit the subscribe. Also, I posted out the link to the Bracket Challenge group out there. If anybody's interested, feel free to join the Behind the Arc Basketball Bracket Challenge group once again. We're going to do ESPN once again this year. As we had over 100 people last year join the group. That link is pinned to the chat if anybody's interested in joining the channel's Bracket Challenge group. Abdul, welcome back in. Hope all is going well, man. Quick update on some of the scores throughout college basketball right now. Miami leading Duke 20-12. SMU, an elimination game for them if they lose 12-11. SMU up by 1 over Tulsa. Tulsa is the 10 seed in the American Conference Tournament. 18-14, Michigan State up over Wisconsin. Creighton pummeling Providence 40-27. We'll see if Providence can eventually come back to that, but yeah, that's looking like a first-round exit in the hands of Chattanooga at this point. Yikes. Dayton leading UMass in an elimination game for the Flyers, 43-42. I'm going to take Wisconsin there. So I will go Wisconsin. That's a low-scoring game right now. 18-14. Michigan State with 3 minutes left to go in the first. Yeah. Johnny Davis, I saw, is stone cold right now. I think he's going to be able to have a hot second half. Yeah, Johnny Davis is 0 for 7. No points by Johnny Davis. So Wisconsin has stayed in the game despite Johnny Davis missing all 7 shots. They're only down by 4. Let's see what we got for that Tennessee-Mississippi State score right now. 45-37 Tennessee with 17:20 left to go. Second half. Jeesh. Yeah, Providence is getting shredded right now by Creighton. That's what I thought would happen. Or so. It's the second time they played on neutral floor back-to-back days, and what happens is that they get shredded. They got shredded against Virginia when they played back-to-back days on neutral court. 12:05 left to go in the first. TCU's gone stagnant. Last 4 minutes without a single field goal. Inside the key, Mike Miles moves it back out to Damian Bowe. Passes out to the corner. Jumper. Missed off the mark. Offensive rebound pulled down by Lampkin. Lampkin working on Lightfoot. Moves it out to the top. Drive, kick, corner three in the air. O'Bannon hits one. That's a big-time shot right there for TCU to get themselves winning 6. Kansas with a possession at the wing. Jalen Wilson. Wilson moves it over to Brown. Lob over the top looking for McCormack, and he gets fouled. Plus the bucket. They're going to count it. So 20-12 off the backside. David McCormack got fouled. Slipping behind the defense, and that's just good use right there. Christian Brown lobs over the top once again. Second alley-oop opportunity of the game by Kansas. Damian Bowe was the one who got in the way of that one. Free throw is good. 21-12 Kansas. Joe, welcome in. Yeah, I think they're going to be dangerous for like any 1 seed in the second rounds. I think that's where TCU is heading. TCU is probably going to be an 8 seed. The Horned Frogs have the ball, moving it out to the wing to Miles. Miles defended by Brown. Jacks up a three. That is good. He hits it. 3-point shot number 2 made by TCU. The luck of the rattle right there by Mike Miles. So needed some offense to help them out in this game. They've got some with 11 minutes left to go in the first. Drive, kick to the corner. Brown dribbles up to the mid-block for Kansas. Passes out to the top. Jalen Wilson attacks. Off of a double team. Gives it out to the corner. Remy Martin, transfer from Arizona State. Into the game for the first time today. He has it at the edge of the Big 12 logo. Martin, spin move. Jumper, falling away. Tough shot, 2 hands in the face. That's no good. It missed off the front rim. Chance here for TCU. Bounce pass down low. And they should have had 2 and they couldn't grab it in time. Goes out of bounds. Off the fingertips of their big man, Eddie Lampkin, as that's a turnover by the Horned Frogs. Man, they've had opportunities too. 5 turnovers so far for TCU. Kansas with 0. 10.5 left to go in the first. Kansas has it. Agbaji. Top of the key. Dribbles. Drive straight down the lane. Left hand. Missed off the glass. Defensive rebound pulled down by TCU. Horned Frogs hanging in here. Second chance points. That's what they like to do. Bounce pass off to the cut. Couldn't finish. They get their own rebound back. We'll see if they can get a second chancer. And they end up going to the free throw line. So this will be Eddie Lampkin going to the free throw line. Shooting 2 coming up for the Horned Frogs. Staying in there so far. Four offensive rebounds by TCU. As they are plus 6 in the glass early on. 10-4. First shot is good. 56% free throw shooter. He makes the first one. So yeah, a lot of offensive metrics TCU struggles at. 3-point shooting, free throw shooting. They're in the 300s for both of those categories. But bringing out the physicality in this game, they started out extremely physical, rolling the glass and scoring at the rim. And then when they were held stagnant, allowing Kansas to a run, that's when TCU started to jack up threes. And they kept on missing, but they made the last 2 threes that they've got. Second shot rattled out. Brown attack stripped by Miles as it goes out of bounds. It's going to stay Kansas basketball. 9:55 left to go in the first. Kansas gets the inbound. DeWan Wilson passes off to McCormack. Hands it off to Wilson. Or Harris. At the corner, bobbled. Jumper. Missed off the back rim by Kansas as that was Coleman lands. And we have a loose ball fall picked up by the Horned Frogs here. The clock will stop with 9:44. Ochai Agbaji checking out of the game. Top scorer for Kansas this season, scoring just under 20 points per game. The refs actually reversed the call. It's going to be TCU basketball. So Horned Frogs have it. Off a double team, they move it on top. Coming off the bench, a three straight away. Missed by number 21 of TCU. That is Jacoby Cole's first time today in the game. Freshman from Denton, Texas. As we have a tie-up around the perimeter, it's going to result in Kansas possession. (21-16). TCU helping out their cause as they put Kansas on a 2-minute scoring drought. At the top, Christian Brown. Moves it outside to Harris. Harris passes on top of the key, Wilson. 15 on the shot clock. Moves it towards his left to Harris. Harris dribbles, attacks straight down the lane, right hand. Scoop score up and in off the window. Juwan Harris able to get the basket. Doesn't attempt many shots, but a tremendous facilitator. That time just takes it straight down to the hoop and scores. Does every bit of little of everything there for Juwan Harris for him. Under 9 minutes left to go in the first. 7-point game. TCU with the ball. At the wing. Peavy. Bounce pass. Back in his way. Low post Lampkin. Lampkin turn around. Missed off the back rim. Defensive rebound. Hauled down by Brown. That's a strong one by Kansas. Jayhawks come up with it. Wilson passes down low. Double team. McCormack won't count the bucket. Looking for it to be called, but they're going to take it off the board. McCormack fouled, though. It's before the shot. What's good, Randy? Welcome back in. I think tonight Virginia Tech has to stop UNC's three-point shooting. UNC can explode offensively, and it's mostly through their guards that they've been able to do so. Brady Manick, he's been able to go off. He's been solid lately. A front court player that can also shoot the three extremely well. As McCormack gets fouled once again. This time he's going to head to the free throw line. So David McCormack drawing 2 quick personal fouls on TCU. One by Coles, one by Cork. Now, if Virginia Tech gets hot tonight, then they've got a chance. Because if they get hot, that game is a likelihood of getting to be a shootout. Because UNC can knock down their threes at a really good clip. McCormack, first one, no good. Skipped around the rim and out. Second shot by McCormack. That is good. .8:25 left to go in the first. TCU will take it past midcourt. Lost control of the basketball. That's a turnover by Damian Bow. Right back it goes to Kansas. It's going to be Harris who takes up the court here for the Jayhawks. Juwan Harris moves it outside of Brown. Brown towards his right, gives it over to Jalen Wilson. Wilson, top of the free throw circle, passes off to Harris. Lob down low, McCormack, pump fake. Backs his way in the matchup, turn around. Missed off the back rim and another TCU foul. Yeah, man. Things not looking good for Providence. If I see Chattanooga in the bracket, I'm going to take Chattanooga there. Just unfortunate. We head to the timeout, 24-16 Kansas. TCU getting themselves in foul trouble currently. Yeah, it seems like Providence just shows up for the last couple minutes in the game too. I mean, when tournament time comes, that's something that you never want to do because, there's close margins. Things going to get closer and closer, and it's going to be too little too late because that's exactly what happened today with Auburn. Auburn's been doing that for games on the road this season. And too little too late. It wasn't too little too late when you played Georgia and Missouri, but now it's too little too late against Texas A&M earlier today. I can see a lot of teams getting upset in the first round. I can't believe I'm saying this, but a prime candidate to lose a first round game would be Illinois. Illinois has lost so many close games this season. I was so high in that team, and they couldn't even close it out today against Indiana. So, I don't know. If they get called, it all depends on who they get, but a lot of these 12, 13 teams, they're dangerous, I feel like. Yeah, it's crazy. Like, Illinois has been hyped up so much by the media. They've had players in and out, in and out, in and out. Like, we've waited all season long to see if they can get a fully healthy roster, and they still have players missing from their roster today. And they played it all throughout the game, just close against Indiana. But if their threes aren't going, because there's games that they are just stone cold, then it could be tough. So no matter what Coburn does, he could drop 40. And if they can't hit their shots from the outside, then it could be tough. Right now, Miami's leading Duke 22-20. It's an elimination game for TCU. They're going to have to win it to improve their chances of making to the bracket. For SMU, that is. SMU looking good. They're up over Tulsa 23-17. So SMU, if SMU loses that one, they are going to go to the NIT. Michigan State leading at halftime 24-22 over Wisconsin. Johnny Davis, 1 for 10 from the floor. Just 4 points for Davis. That's something to monitor. You would think that Wisconsin would be blowing out right there. That is through their defense and generous that it's only a 2-point game. Creighton blowing out the doors of Providence 42-27. UMass winning Dayton 50-47. Imagine if UMass sneaks into the tournament. That would be crazy. Firing their head coach midseason. UMass going to be 500 if they win this game. Dayton would go to the NIT. I mean, you got the biggest game of the season for Dayton, and you're trailing against UMass. I don't get what is going on there. Like, so many teams have shown it, so many teams haven't shown it. Biggest upset so far in the conference tournament. I think the past 2 days, Baylor losing yesterday to Oklahoma, and then Auburn today losing against Texas A&M. That put Texas A&M basically in the playing game. Both of the shots good by McCormack. 10-point lead for Kansas. 8 minutes left to go before halftime. Like, I feel like now a lot of people are going to put Illinois in the Final Four because they've just been hyped up so much by the media. Like, I've been wondering, like, when is this all going to come together? As that's good. Floater by Lampkin of TCU. Hanging in there, puts it by 8. Like, when is the team going to come together? They're going to keep on losing close games. That's the thing. Because if they play a first-round matchup against a team like South Dakota State, that's a dangerous team right there. Jumper, good by Kansas at the elbow. Agbaji up to 9. Yeah, I think Florida's out of the tournament, definitely. Yeah, that was an elimination game against Texas A&M. TCU with the ball, edge of the logo. 7:15 left to go in the first. As Kansas gets called for the push-off, it's on Joseph Yesufu. Yeah, I think he's done at Florida. There's a bunch of coaches in the SEC that I think's done. Ben Howland of Mississippi State. Frank Martin of South Carolina. Tom Crean just got fired. Ben, welcome to the stream. Thanks so much for joining in, man. I saw there was a game that went a triple overtime today. It was UAB in Middle Tennessee in Conference USA went to triple overtime. And also North Texas lost. So that gets interesting. Whoever was on the bubble, you be sweating it out Selection Sunday. Notre Dame, man. So, I don't know if it's going to be enough for Notre Dame, honestly. Holding on to that win against Kentucky. Down low, offensive rebound, scoring. Up and in, through for 2. They're not going to count it, though. Pushing off it is Lampkin, who gets called in the turnover. And that's 2 points taken off the board for TCU. Wick on the stream, welcome in. Taking TCU in this one. Thanks so much, man, for joining in. Kansas playing perfect basketball, no turnovers. TCU with 7. Pump fake, Igbaji moves it outside to Harris. Harris dribbles left baseline. Pass deflected, goes out of bounds. And it was off of Dwan Harris last. So that will be TCU ball. Six and a half left to go in the first. In the backcourt, it's Miles. Miles defended by Yesufu. Takes it past the midcourt logo. Miles off of a double team, gives it out on top. And they move it around the perimeter for TCU. Back off to Miles. Miles defended by Harris. Dribbles towards his left. And Miles gets called for stepping out of bounds. Will Wake Forest get in? Good question. I will say probably not, most likely. Unfortunately for Wake Forest, because they have a good record, but it's like quality victories that they're still trying to search for. That's the thing. 6 minutes left to go. Kansas by 10. Harris passes off to Wilson. Wilson turns the corner, passed it to the cameraman, and that goes out of bounds. Looking for a driving kick, and Kansas picks up their second turnover. TCU's got to get something going here. They've been on a scoring drought of over 3.5 minutes. The Horned Frogs with the ball on the outside. They give it over to Miles. Miles dribbles up, kicks to the corner. Here's a 3. Emmanuel Miller skipped around the rim, missed. Yesufu with a defensive rebound. 5.5 left to go in the first. Kansas will take a 3. That is good from the outside. Achai Agbaji on a whole nother level. He's the one who's shining tonight in this game. Agbaji up to 13. And it's another timeout taken by Jamie Dixon and the Horned Frogs. Great start for Kansas. 31-18 they lead. 13 of those points by Achai Agbaji coming out to play tonight. 5 of 7 from the floor. Perfect 2 for 2 from three-point range. He is something special. This starting lineup's really good. And they are shooting lights out. 60% from the floor, 12 of 20 right now. And that's really not a good sign for TCU's defense, because TCU has been led by their defense all season long. And right now they're having some trouble. Quick update and a couple other college basketball scores going on. Miami leading Duke 32-24. SMU up by 1 over Tulsa 23-22. Michigan State leading a low-scoring game at halftime over Wisconsin, 24-22, Michigan State. Johnny Davis, only one made shot from the floor in the entire first half for Wisconsin. And Creighton beating Providence 42-27 at halftime. UMass still up over Dayton, 57-54 now for UMass. If UMass finishes that, they're on to the A10 semis. That is something I would have never thought that I'd say in my life. That UMass would be playing in the A10 semis and URI wouldn't even make it into the A10 quarters. And URI fired their coach today. 5 minutes left to go in the first. Handoff. Up to Mike Miles, and Miles gets followed by McCormack. Clock will stop with 5:02 left to go. Oh yeah, that's anybody's dream there. Going to Fog Allen for Kansas against Kentucky. That would be awesome to experience that, man. First shot at the line, Mike Miles hits it. Still a long way to go in this game. And TCU is going to have to do what they did yesterday and come from behind and beat Texas. This is a much better Kansas team as far as shooting efficiency, scoring. It's tough to take on Kansas because they play more of track meet type of matchups. Texas isn't a gritty type of game that Texas will go stagnant for multiple minutes. Kansas will get their offense flowing. Under 5 minutes left to go in the first. Kansas with the ball. Dwan Harris moves it out to the wing. Yesufu with a 3 right down the pipe. That one goes. 34-19 for the Jayhawks. 4.5 minutes left to go in the first. Farabello dribbles up to the elbow, bounce pass, top of the free throw circle, Lampkin. Moves it out to O'Bannon. O'Bannon looking to pass it, moves it back off to Miles. 8 on the shot clock, Mike Miles dribbles up at the free throw circle. He gets bumped into by Harris, and Harris called in the foul. Clock will stop once again, 4:16 left to play. And that will be the 6th personal foul picked up by Kansas as a team. Second one by DeJuan Harris, as Harris will take a seat on the bench. I think it could be John Becker from Vermont. Becker's been coaching Vermont, I think, since 2011. And it seems like every single season Vermont's been winning conference championships. Pass floated down low. Size advantage. Goes to Lampkin behind the defense who scores. Also, Jared Grasso. That would be something if he moves up from Bryant to URI. Because he well deserves it. Jumper is good. At the mid-block, it is Remy Martin for 2. I took TCU in this one. It's not looking good so far. Under 4 minutes left to go in the first. TCU with the ball. Miles moves it on top, off the Lampkin. 15 on the shot clock, 3.5 left to go before halftime. Bounce pass to the cup. Micah Peavy lays it up and through for 2. They're going to have to need a bunch more buckets to the rim. TCU struggling team from 3-point range this season. Christian Brown straight off a cut gets an easy layup. And welcome in. Glad to have you back on the stream. Final 3 minutes left to go in the first. TCU down by 15, looking for something. Lampkin moves around the perimeter. It goes off to Damian Bow. Bow passes down low. Lampkin turnaround, and Lampkin gets fouled. Not a bad idea for Kansas. Kansas just picked up their 7th personal foul. Reaching in by Remy Martin, and at the free throw line will be Eddie Lampkin. 1-1 bonus, but Lampkin's only a 57% free throw shooter this season. So we'll have that coming up out of the timeout. So 38-23 the score. Kansas just making their buckets. They have been extremely efficient on all levels tonight. 65% from the floor, 15-23. Everybody making solid contributions. And Ache Agbaji having a great game tonight. 13 points by Agbaji, 5 of 7. Perfect 2 for 2 from 3. What's good, Wide Awake? Terrell on the stream. Welcome in, guys. And welcome back in. Good evening out to you. Yeah, I'm still going to keep my prediction. It's going to be much tougher to come back against Kansas than it was against Texas. But, yeah, anything is possible. UMass and Dayton tied up at 57. 8 minutes left to go there. Creighton is shredding Providence, 46-27. That is incredible for Creighton without their point guard. Man, props to Creighton. Because when their point guard went down, I think a lot of people thought that they were done. And what they have done right now, that is something fantastic for the Creighton Blue Jays. Leading Providence by 19, 18 minutes left to go in the second in that game. For Providence, that's a reality check. That's a big reality check. That they barely beat Butler yesterday. They're down by 19 against Creighton. They've had this all season long, that they've been down like this. Trailing double digits against DePaul. They were in a back-and-forth game first time they played Georgetown. And they're just not an efficient shooting team to get that number up. That's the thing, and that's really concerning for them come first round. Really concerning for Providence if they draw Chattanooga in the bracket. They might be around the 64 and done if that trend continues. And Miami's leading Duke right now, 32-26. SMU up over Tulsa 30-24. So a lot of games going on. Big Sky semis right now. Montana State was the 1 seed. Montana State trailing early over Weber State 13-5. Alright, if you guys are new in the stream, hit the thumbs up, spike the like, hit the subscribe, ring that notification bell as well. If you guys would like to be notified here, future live streams that I do cover basketball action, college hoops, NBA games. Later tonight, I'll be covering Texas Tech against Oklahoma, second game of the doubleheader. So feel free to come on for that one. Spaghetti Factory, welcome in. Sorry to hear that, man. Hopefully they'll be able to make one here, but it's really, really tough. I thought that they'd be able to have a chance today, but Kansas shooting lights out, 65%. Free throw is missed at the line, and Kansas gets it right back and scores underneath. Two and a half left to go in the first. TCU just looking for something. This is familiar territory on this same court yesterday. Down by 20 against Texas. Came back and won by 5. Around the outside. They will bounce past it to the baseline. Miles receiving attention, defended by Brown. Miles turns the corner, dribbles, floats up the shot. Blocked to the corner by Christian Brown. Goes into the hands of O'Bannon as he picks it up. Takes a jumper. Shot clock expires. And TCU, for the third time tonight, has been forced into a shot clock violation. This is just something special here by Kansas. These guys want it more. 2 minutes left to go before half. Remy Martin off of the Mitchell Lightfoot pick. Martin crossover. Dribbles up to the free throw circle. Dumps it over to Lightfoot down low. Puts up the turnaround. Rolls around the rim, and he's got 2 more. Wow. They are hitting on all cylinders tonight for the Jayhawks. TCU needs something. Oh, yeah. Last night, that was a crazy beatdown there. Inside, down low, spin move. Peavy gets 2 defenders to budge, and he's able to score up and in. They needed that. Oh, yeah, that was a sad day from 2 years ago. 2 years ago, when the day that Rudy Gobert touched the microphones, everything canceled. Remy Martin driving. He gets fouled, contacted down by 2 defenders. It's going to be a blocking foul picked up by Micah Peavy of TCU. 1:15 left to go before halftime. Vaughn, what's good? Welcome in, man. Yeah. It's just unfortunate showing today so far for TCU. Turnover problems. Just struggling to get any good quality looks. And Kansas creating their own shot, getting everything that they've been able to take so far in this game. Some really nice cuts to the bucket by Kansas. First one is good at the line. Second one's good too by Remy Martin. Remy Martin's been in and out of the lineup this season due to injury, but last year he was the top scorer in the Pac-12 conference. Put up over 19 points per game. Peavy floats at 1. The alter by Lightfoot, blocked out of bounds, and it will stay Kansas basketball. 1 minute left to go. It's kind of misleading when the numbers for this Kansas team, because you see Agbaji and Brown's been carrying them all season long. If you look at the numbers, doesn't seem like there's much depth, but they've been getting a lot of really solid minutes out of their top 4 players. That's why. And then their point guard is more of the playmaking type of player that allows Agbaji and Brown to get all those points. Remy Martin it's going to be a jumper here by TCU. Mike Miles falling away on Remy Martin, who gets the bucket. 17-point lead, Kansas timeout. 40 seconds left to go before halftime. If you guys are new in the stream, hit the thumbs up, spike the like, hit the subscribe. Ring that notification bell as well if you guys would like to be notified here. Future live streams I do cover. Also, feel free to vote in the poll. Who do you got in this one, Kansas or TCU? And then, if anybody's interested, you guys are welcome to join the Behind the Arc Basketball Bracket Challenge group. That link is pinned to the chat. If anybody's interested in doing that, all are welcome to join in. I think last year we had over 100 people join the Bracket Challenge group. Yeah, I thought that BU made the tournament 2 years ago. I was all happy about that. If they had, they would have got crushed against Kansas or Baylor in the first round. And then the tournament never happened. 50-27, Creighton demolishing Providence, make it 52-27. Michigan State leading Wisconsin 30-29. And Miami and Duke are tied up at halftime, 36-all. Here's a jumper. Off the front rim, miss, tipped up, defensive rebound goes to TCU. Miles brings it up the court, moves it out towards his right, Peavy. And now they pass it back out to Miles, edge of the Big 12 logo. They could use a big shot here to see if they can get some momentum going into halftime. Miles, defended at the right wing. 10 seconds in the shot clock, 16 seconds left to go in the game clock. Off of the pick, dribbles towards his left. Miles passes to the corner, 3 on his way. That's good. Big time triple right there by TCU at the left corner. Number 3, Francisco Farabello, and puts it to a 14-point game. And TCU with a quick foul. That's on Micah Peavy, and it's going to be Kansas inbound coming up. So that will be TCU's 6th personal foul. Non-shooting foul as Christian Brown will be the inbound passer. 2.4 seconds left to play before halftime on the far side here. Brown looking to inbound it. Gives it at the top. Lightfoot gives it back over to Brown. Takes the 3 at the top. Great play design, but couldn't convert. And that's how they close out going into halftime. Kansas lights out in the first half, 17-27 from the floor. TCU, 46% for them. They're getting lit up by Kansas so far. Top scorer, 13 points by Ache Agbaji, leading all scorers, the only player in double figures tonight in this matchup. That was a big 3 by TCU to at least give them some sort of momentum there. Going into halftime, Kansas made the last 8 out of 10 shots from the floor. TCU on a track meet trying to keep up with them as they made the last 5 out of 7. Scores we go into halftime, 44-30 right now. Points in the paint in favor of Kansas, 22-12. And that is a no-no right now for TCU. TCU, 16-10 on the glass. That's when they've been leading the battle, is on the glass. The problem tonight has been TCU with the turnovers. 9 total turnovers, a lot of them early in the game. And it's allowed Kansas to get 12 of those points off of turnovers. And that's where Kansas is the most dangerous, is being able to get on the break. They are just so smooth on the break. They don't make too many mistakes. And they are making TCU pay in this matchup tonight for that. Being able to get to the rim, which Kansas has been able to do all season long. A really good clip. And tonight, at a solid level, they are doing it. And TCU's got some really just big players down low. One of their players is 6'11", 300 pounds. But just able to draw up plays to see if they can slip behind them, which they've been able to do so a couple times with a couple alley-oop opportunities for Kansas that they've got. SMU starting to pull away. They lead Tulsa 38-27 in the final minute before the first half. SMU, one of the teams that's on the bubble, first team out or last team in. Michigan State, Wisconsin started the second half. Michigan State leads 30-29. Dayton has just taken the lead over UMass, 65-63, with 3:20 left to play. Big game for Dayton. They're one of the first team out of the bracket. And Creighton demolishing Providence right now, 52-27. Creighton on a 10-zip second half run. Do I think BU will ever make the tournament? Probably not for another decade, honestly. Gee. Yeah, Providence is 24% from the floor. It's not good. Yeah, I would not want to see South Dakota State or Chattanooga in my bracket if I'm Providence. That's probably going to happen. That might even put them to a 5 seed, honestly. Depending on how other teams around them surge. Because right now they're projected as a 4. I don't know, man. I think Chattanooga's an awful matchup for Providence. Chattanooga's got the same amount of experience as Providence. And those teams from the SoCon were playing power conference teams really tough. Yeah, the Southern Conference, I think they were 8th this year in winning percentage. In total conference winning percentage out of the 32 conferences, they ranked 8th. They got some really good teams in that conference. The Citadel was much better than they had been historically, throughout the last couple decades or so. And Furman had showed that they were able to beat power conference teams this season, and they came in and they were just split seconds from pulling it off against Chattanooga. Yes, I'm going to be covering the Providence game most likely in the tournament. And hopefully it's a much better effort than tonight. This has just been disappointing. You go out to MSG, you beat Butler just barely. And then you show up against Creighton in this game and can't even compete. 14-2, Creighton outscoring Providence in the second. What's good, Victoria? Welcome to the stream. Duke's having some trouble against Miami. 36-36 at halftime. How to beat Duke. Make threes. Force turnovers. That's the whole strategy of the Canes. That's Miami for you. Just like Georgia Tech from last season. Same thing. That scrappiness type of team that they have. Undersized type of team, but if they make threes, you have a chance against Duke. Duke hasn't seen any really good three-point shooting teams this season. Texas A&M beat Auburn today. That was a huge upset. 67-62 the final. Texas A&M's in the next 4 out grouping, so they're not even in the bracket just yet, which I was shocked to see about that. I thought that would have got them right into the bracket for Texas A&M. If you guys are new in the stream, hit the thumbs up, spike the like, hit the subscribe. Thanks so much all for joining in. Right now we're just at halftime here between these two teams. Kansas up 44-30. We'll see if TCU has another moment in them to make a comeback. That's going to be hard to sustain for Kansas there. 63%, 17-27 in the first half by Kansas. And there wasn't really a time that they were just stagnant as far as offense. They just kept on going and going and going all throughout the course of that first half. And we'll see if TCU can get get their team into a rhythm here to make stops coming up in the second half, how they adjust in this one. But Ochai Agbaji, he has been a blur all over the court. Just so tough out there. Making shots off the catch. Cutting to the hoop, receiving 2 alley-oop passes, jamming them down. And TCU is going to have to make sure to zero in on him if they want any chance of coming on back in this one for tonight. Let's see what we got for the Tennessee game. Tennessee and Mississippi State wrapped up. Tennessee got the victory 72-59. Wisconsin has just taken the lead 36-34 over Michigan State. Rough first half by Johnny Davis. Johnny Davis only made 1 shot. He's made 2 quick shots here in the second half. He's up to 9 points just like that. Yeah, never count out Wisconsin, even though how bad of a first half that was. Johnny Davis, he did get clobbered against Nebraska in the last game, so it most likely probably took him a lot to get into his rhythm, starting to find his form once again. And looks like he's starting to discover it as I speak right here as Wisconsin leads by 2. So yeah, right now we're just at halftime currently. We'll update here NBA scores tonight. T-Wolves leading the Magic 60-51. Celtics in a tight game right now. Early first against the Pistons 28-26. It's Detroit with a 2-point lead. And then the Hawks up over the Clippers 28-22. Do I see Texas A&M still making a tournament? Yes. I think they're in the playing game. I would take them at this point over Michigan and Xavier at this point. Wow, UMass just took the lead right back, 68-67 over Dayton. Dayton, the number 2 seed in the Atlantic 10 tournament. It's going to open up the door for somebody else to make it to the bracket. Davison with a big win today. Davison beat Fordham. So they're in the A10 semis. I can't believe I'm saying it, that UMass is a minute 20 away from seeing if they could close it out and make the A10 semis. Wow. That is just crazy. UMass beat Rutgers this season. And they fired their head coach mid-season. Yeah, Davison's definitely going to make the tournament. Davison won today, so it basically cements them into the tournament. Yeah, I predicted TCU, and I will not count out TCU, specifically when they beat Texas yesterday. They were down by 20, they still got a chance. Yeah, I think it's tough for Kansas to sustain 63% shooting in the second half. That number is going to drastically drop. TCU is a defensive-minded type of team. For them to give up 44 points in the first half, that is something that is not really themselves. They're much better than that. I think we're going to have a great second half. Kansas not really in foul trouble with well, they actually have two by Juwan Harrison and David McCormack. So those two players got 2 personal fouls. Agbaji's got 1. Christian Brown has no fouls so far in this game for Kansas. And then the foul trouble for TCU. 2 personal fouls picked up by Micah Peavy. 2 by Cork. And that's basically it for TCU. Yeah, hopefully in the future they'll be much, much better than they are right now. I don't remember the last time they ever went to the A-10 semis, but probably in the 90s. They had that one year that they had that like really good season, and then they just fell flat. Like last 3-4 games, and they ended up still getting a 6 seed. That was back in 2013. And then they got destroyed by Tennessee. But yeah, Dayton just took the lead back, 69-68 over UMass. 22 seconds left to go. That's an elimination game for Dayton if they fall on the wrong side of the score tonight. We'll keep you guys posted there. What's good, Spaghetti Factory? Welcome in. That would be a no. Yeah, when will they ever? I would say never. Oh, yeah, in football. Yeah, they should just make a specific bowl game for UMass and UConn in football. All right, second half's going to be coming back in just a moment here. 44-30. As we will start off the second half. Kansas shooting the ball lights out, 17-27 from the floor. 63%. Ochai Agbaji, only player in double figures at halftime as he scored 13 points. TCU trying to keep up there at 46% shooting. Mike Miles, the top scorer for the Horned Frogs with 8 points. Yeah, say with me, Vegas. Oklahoma, though. Oklahoma, if they win tonight, they're in the bracket, so that game has a bunch of meaning. But when I saw Texas Tech play yesterday, I was like, man, those guys play hard. Like, those are full-grown men on that Texas Tech team, and no wonder why they're the top-rated defense for defensive efficiency. TCU left to right in the court. They have the ball first to start off the second half. Mike Miles, defended by Harris at the wing, moves it out top of the free throw circle. Eddie Lampkin gives it over to O'Bannon. O'Bannon dumps it off to Lampkin, floats one up, and we're going to have a blocking foul. That'll be charged to Christian Brown, his first. 19:37 left to play. Yo, we got a dono, Spaghetti Factory. Appreciate it, man, for the dono. Let's get that dono hype out in the chat here. Thanks so much, brother. How tall am I? Funny question. I'm only 5'2". So, yeah. Really, really short. First shot missed by Lampkin. Just 1 for 4 at the free throw line by Lampkin. He's only 57% on the season. The second one's good by Lampkin. Not a bad fall every time that Kansas does that to Eddie Lampkin to send him to the line. 50% from the floor. Lob, down low, puts one up and banks it. That is Jalen Wilson up and in off the glass. I've got them going deep. I think they're Final Four potential for Texas Tech. The only thing that they're missing is perimeter shooting. That's the thing. But I saw they play like 9 players deep for Texas Tech. And they had won against Kansas back in January as that pass flung down low, up and in off the glass. Emmanuel Miller finally on the board for TCU. They won against Kansas back in early January when they only had, I think, 8 players on the roster that game. They had a bunch of players missing out for that game. They've had players missing time in and out of the lineup, and now everybody's fully healthy. And they look so dangerous. Like, they were contesting everything against Iowa State last night. It was a little bit of kind of a resemblance of two teams going in opposite directions. Texas Tech going upwards, Iowa State looking like they're going to be a first-round tournament exit at this point. If they scored 36 against Oklahoma State yesterday, they couldn't even reach 50. Pass off to the cut, good by TCU as they cut it to 11. Kansas with the ball top of the key, Wilson. Floats one up off the mark, that is Harris, tipped to the perimeter. Wilson able to get it, gives it over to Brown now. Brown at the baseline for Kansas, crossover back around the wing. Wilson has it, lob inside, and puts one up and scores up and in. That's Mitchell Lightfoot. Yeah, Hung Jung Lee. 18 minutes left to go in the second. Bounce pass. Baseline to the opposite one. Jumper is good for a deep J. That's going to be a 2 by Chuck O'Bannon at the baseline for TCU. Yep. Ohio State's been playing the worst basketball out of anybody lately. Agbaji, quick bucket straight to the rim. This is 50-37. Agbaji up to 15. Going coast to coast right back. That is good. Mike Miles able to score. So Miles up to double figures. First player to reach that mark tonight for TCU, up to 10. 17.5 left to go in the second. Harris moves it over to Wilson, back out to Lightfoot. Lightfoot top of the free throw circle, gives it outside to Brown. Brown turns the corner, dribbles, floats up the runner. Off the rim, missed, battle for the rebound, pulled down by Lightfoot. Another opportunity, here's a 3, Agbaji from the outside, missed off the back rim, defensive rebound, pulled this time down by Emmanuel Miller, then he lost it. Turnover to TCU backcourt, it got stolen away by Jalen Wilson. Bounce pass, Harris off the Brown, cutting, couldn't finish with a layup. And TCU comes out with a board. Under 17 minutes left to go. Miles passes back outside at Damian Bow. Driving to the rim, and that will be a foul. They're going to say off. It's going to be defensive foul picked up, blocking by Mitchell Lightfoot. So Bill Self thinking that it was going to go the other way, but no, it's going to send Damian Bow to the free throw line, shooting 2 coming up for TCU. Dakota, welcome in, man. Big win today for Tennessee there. Yeah, USC, UCLA, big game going on tonight. Quarterfinals of the Pac-12 tournament. First shot good. Yeah, unfortunate that is so late. Yeah, I've been seeing Iowa State in the bracket against UNC lately. UNC is going to demolish them if that happens. Based on how UNC has been playing lately. They've been a machine scoring. That's a machine right there. Pass off to the cut. Right behind the defense. That's the third time tonight that Kansas has utilized that. Ochai Agbaji throwing it down, two-handed dunk. He's up to 17 points. Scored 10-plus points the last 31 of the 32 games. Here's a 3. TCU lets it rain, keeps him into the game. That is O'Bannon from the outside. They pull one and 8. About 16 minutes left to go. Bounce pass to the corner. Brown turns the corner, driving, layup. He's good. That goes down with the right hand right there. TCU with the ball, and Miles called an offensive foul, running right over. That's DeJuan Harris. Down the lane. That's going to be a turnover. All right, so we're going to take another timeout here in the floor media timeout. Kansas by 10, 54-44 with 15:53 left to play. Yeah, tougher defense right now by TCU to get them right into this game. TCU starts out perfect. They're 5 of 5 in the second half right now for TCU. Kansas 5 of 10 so far in half number 2. So I didn't think that 63% was going to stay. It's dropped to 59.5 now. Let's see. Tennessee would play the winner, Kentucky against Vanderbilt. So let's see. Kentucky Vanderbilt's going to tip off in about 6 minutes. Duke with a 1-point lead over Miami. 16 minutes left to go. 45-44 Duke. While Creighton destroying Providence 73-46. Michigan State up over Wisconsin 50-44. Kent State is leading Ohio 27-17. That's a team to watch out for. They're on a gigantic winning streak for Kent State. So if they come out in the MAC, they could be a dangerous type of team. Kent State's going to face Akron tomorrow if they're able to win. Akron beat Toledo today in the MAC semis. Toledo, the number 1 seed, is now out of the tournament, so they're going to go to the NIT. But that's been a common occurrence usually, I think, from the MAC, is that the top seed gets eliminated. All right, Dayton able to stay in the bracket. They beat UMass 75-72. Dayton's probably going to need another victory to get them there, most likely. I don't know if Dayton's going to play VCU tomorrow, or it's the 5 and the 4 was St. Bonaventure, St. Louis. Dayton was the 2. They're going to play the 3. So the 3, I believe, is VCU. So, yeah, that's an elimination game tomorrow if VCU advances tonight. So that's huge. VCU takes on Richmond because Richmond's the 6. That's right. So if VCU gets past Richmond, it's going to set up a single-game elimination tomorrow. Winner probably goes to the bracket. Loser to the NIT between Dayton and VCU tomorrow. 54-44, back from the timeout. Kansas with the ball with 15:35 left to play. Turnaround inside a key. Mitch Lightfoot gets one to drop. He's been a factor today in this one for Kansas. What's good, Mr. Zigzag? Welcome back to the stream, man. TCU looking to see if they can get something here to put this one back to 10 or single digits. Miles dribbles up, swings it out to the wing. Peavy extra pass to the corner off to Farabello. Gives it outside to Peavy, now off to Miles. Miles attacking straight to the rim with a left hand. Gets altered by Lightfoot at Baji there. Contact, and Miles looking for the call. Couldn't get it, and the ball goes back to Kansas. Quick 3. Brown got it blocked. TCU out on the break. They had one step behind the defense with O'Ban and didn't make the decision in time, though. At the wing, Peavy gives it out to the corner. Mike Miles, left baseline dribble, and he stumbles. Knocked down hard to the hardwood. going to be a Kansas foul. Oh yeah, sure. I'll update you guys in a couple NBA scores right now. Since there's there's a lot of games actually. Because I just looked, there's 3 games well in the progress, and then there's more coming up. I'll do it during the next timeout. Inbound back to Miles. Miles dribbles back out to the perimeter. 14.5 left to go in the second. Miles off a double team. Nice bounce pass down low. Couldn't finish though as Emmanuel Miller gets the ball back and missed again. Off the back rim, couldn't convert on 2 opportunities. Kansas comes back with a rebound. Brown over to Wilson. Moves it out to Remy Martin. Martin crossover drive straight down the lane. Left hand finishes up and in off the backboard. 58-44 Kansas. 14 minutes left to go. They've had a lot of opportunities for TCU. They're a second chance type of team. But today those second chances just haven't been able to drop. And their defense has been struggling, and that's the main go-to for them is through their D. 10 on the shot clock, looking for a good quality look here. Peavy off of a double team. Looking to pass it back, he does to Farabello. Their offense is out of sync right now. He forces one up, that is way short. And that is the 4th shot clock violation of the game in total for TCU. So it's going to go back to Kansas once again. They're getting nothing today. The looks have been struggling. Somehow they made 50% of their shots, but they've turned it over 12 times. And 4 of those turnovers have been shot clock violations. Lob inside off of a double team. And Lightfoot draws the foul before he went into any sort of shooting motion. It's going to be on Farabello reaching in. So Kansas will get the inbounds. Underneath their hoop here for the Jayhawks. At the corner, they pass it off to Lightfoot. Lightfoot gives it outside to Remy Martin. Martin dribbles up, 18-footer straight away. Nice touch, and he hits it. Great piece of this Kansas team is Remy Martin, transfer from Arizona State, the top scorer in the Pac-12 last season. Hasn't been fully healthy this season, but he's been a pretty good piece of this team when he's been able to play. Pass down low. Puts up one. Missed off the mark. They do draw the foul, though. It's going to be Emmanuel Miller heading to the line. Is those plays right there, TCU, all you have to do, receive the pass, just throw down the dunk. You don't need to take an extra dribble, and then that extra dribble led Kansas to have another step inside and able to force the miss. Miller, first shot, missed. Around the rim and out. This is a lot to come from behind now for TCU. They could against Texas because Texas doesn't have a strong team as far as scoring. But this is another task right now. Kansas is a top 30 team nationally in scoring this year. Second free throw is good. Under 13 minutes left to play. Kansas with the ball on the outside. Martin drives, attacks, off the glass, missed. Goes back to TCU with a defensive rebound. Damian Bow. Bounce passes over to the baseline. Jumper around the rim, missed by Miller. It goes back to Kansas with a defensive rebound. 12.5 left to play. Lightfoot hands it off to Brown. Moves it out to Wilson. Wilson passes off towards his right. Crossover, dribbles up. Moves it outside of Brown. Pump fake. Gives it out to the top. Lightfoot will take a 3. Straight through it goes. Mitchell Lightfoot even getting on the action. 13 points by Lightfoot today. Through 17 minutes. And TCU called in the offensive foul, pushing off around the perimeter. 12 minutes left to play. It's getting out of control right now. Mitchell Lightfoot makes a 3, and this is all Kansas by 18. Yeah, they're getting shredded against Creighton. That's not good. They're just trying. They're coasting right now. They got to be much, much better than that. Pushing at TCU. Bounce pass to the corner. O'Bannon moves it out to Bow. Bow crossover, drives on Lightfoot. Might have stepped out of bounds. Refs say no, that he didn't, but the pass sails all the way back to the backcourt. Gets deflected out. It's going to lead to a media timeout. So TCU without a single bucket in the last 5 minutes in this game here. Part of a Kansas 11-1 run over 4.5 minutes. What's good, Jason? Welcome to stream, man. Thanks so much for joining in, brother. Kansas just keeps on rolling right now. 59% shooting from the floor. Everybody getting into action. Mitch Lightfoot has made 6 shots. 13 points by Lightfoot. Let's see here. We got NBA scoreboard going on tonight. T-Wolves leading the Magic 68-65. Clippers up over the Hawks 55-52. Celtics and Pistons tied up at 50. Final 5 minutes left to go before halftime. Heat leading the Cavs 15-9. Rockets up early over the Mavs 19-18. 19-18 the score as well between the Grizzlies and Knicks. And then the Hornets leading the Pelicans 16-14. If you guys are new in the stream, hit the thumbs up, spike the like, hit the subscribe, ring that notification bell as well if you guys would like to be notified of future live streams I do cover. After this one will be Texas Tech against Oklahoma. Feel free to join in for that game if you guys would like as well. And if you haven't already done so, feel free to join the Behind the Arc Basketball Bracket Challenge group. That link is posted out there in the chat, pinned to the chat. All are welcome to join the Bracket Challenge group as we're going to do ESPN once again this year. What's good, Brian? Welcome back in, man. Quick update with college basketball scores going on right now. SMU, single game elimination. They're taking care of business, leading Tulsa 48-37 in the American quarterfinals. Duke extending the lead up by 7 over Miami, 55-48 with 11:15 left to play. Michigan State leading a low-scoring affair against Wisconsin. 3.5 minutes left to play. 56-50 Michigan State. And Creighton destroying Providence 79-49 with 4 minutes left to go before halftime. Just a terrible collapse here for Providence. Late stretch of the season. Terrible. Terrible. I don't know, man. If they get Chattanooga in the bracket, that's not a good matchup, I feel like. Chattanooga's got a really good perimeter defense. Providence, the last 2 games have struggled from 3. And Chattanooga, they also have a former Kansas player, Silvio De Souza, on the team who posted a double-double in the SoCon Championship. They got a ton of experience. I don't think that's any walk in the park right there. Chattanooga, what they showed on Monday, that was Monday night. That team is no walk in the park. That team looked tough. They scored 16 in the first half. They came back and they won. Vanderbilt leading Kentucky 9-7 through the first 4 minutes. Kent State up over Ohio 31-23. That's why they call it March Madness upsets. Yeah, it's just never good though. Any team that gets shredded in the conference tournament, it probably means that they're going to get shredded in out first round in the March Madness bracket. That's what it means. I mean, the record and the metrics never lined up this year. So I mean, I saw all the people on Twitter that had been calling Providence frauds all season long. And sadly, I can agree with you on that one. I can agree with you because I have said all throughout this season that they are the luckiest team throughout the course of America. TCU getting out of control of the ball. They just turned it over. Kansas, wide open 3, takes one off the front rim, missed. And TCU couldn't come up with the offensive rebound. In and out of the hands of Micah Peavy. Yeah, if you think about it, they didn't have a road game against Creighton. That game got canceled because Providence had players in health and safety protocols much later than everybody else. UConn didn't have a Dama Sanogo for their matchup where they lost by 4 against Providence back in December. Providence didn't take on UConn a second time around. And Providence didn't have to travel to Creighton. Providence beat Texas Tech in Texas Tech's first road game under head coach Mark Adams in their first power conference team they played. And then Providence beat Wisconsin without Johnny Davis. So yeah, go figure. They got destroyed by Marquette. They got beat twice by Villanova. And they almost lost to Butler yesterday, and they're getting destroyed by Creighton by 30 right now, 79-49. Jason with a dono. Appreciate the brother for the dono. Thanks so much, man. Let's get that dono hype out in the chat. Yeah, I agree, man. It's crazy with all these upsets. Second shot missed off the mark by TCU. I think this TCU team could give teams trouble. Just hasn't played their best game today. They're still a team that could be like a quite a pest towards a 1 seed. They could give them trouble. I've been seeing a lot of Gonzaga versus TCU potentially in the bracket for the second round. 10:20 left to go. Kansas lob over the top. Lightfoot snags it. Lightfoot gets fouled between 2 defenders. Feel free to join in for Texas Tech against Oklahoma after this one. Hopefully a much better game there. I think we're going to be seeing a really low-scoring game, probably in the 50s between those two teams tonight. First shot at the line, that one is good by Mitchell Lightfoot. Having the game of his life tonight for Lightfoot. Lightfoot up to 14 points, looking for 15, coming up at the free throw line. 6 of 7 from the floor. And he hits it. Super senior on this Kansas Jayhawks squad. TCU taking it past midcourt. Miles hands it off to O'Bannon. Jacks up a 3, missed off the back rim. Back it goes to Kansas with a defensive rebound. 10 minutes remain in the second. Out to the top. Lightfoot open again. Took a 3, missed off the back rim. Back it goes to TCU. Miles. Bounce pass. Out to the baseline off to Lampkin. Lampkin down low. Floats one up around the rim. Missed. Tipped up. Battle for the rebound in the corner. Deflected out of bounds. Near side. And it was last touched by TCU. Yeah, first 5 minutes, TCU looked hungry. And then Kansas started to settle in their game. They made their shots, and they never looked back. This Kansas team, really, really good starting lineup. And now we're starting to see more players step up, as that was a troublesome spot this season, was the depth of this team. Now it's starting to come alive lately. Remy Martin back from injury. Mitchell Lightfoot having an incredible night. 15 points by Lightfoot. 6 of 8 from the floor. Brown with the ball, moves on top. Deep range 3. Remy missed off the back rim. Defensive rebound pulled down by Cork of TCU. 9:10 left to go. Miles dribbles, attacks, right hand, finishes up in and off the glass. I mean, if they could do that at the start of this game, look where they could be right now. They could just get it straight to the rim like that. They've had a lot of opportunities, just haven't been able to finish. 15-point lead for Kansas. They move it out to the top to Agbaji. Agbaji at the edge of the Big 12 logo. Pick set by Lightfoot. Moves it out to the left. Out to the corner, pump fake, crossover, step back 3 in the air. Remy Martin missed off the back rim. Defensive rebound pulled down by Bow of TCU. Lob inside off the fingertips. Cork able to pull it down. Goes back to Bow. Bow cross-court pass off the fingertips, and TCU once again turns the ball over. They average around 14 turnovers per game. Corner 3, open, Agbaji. Well short. Offensive rebound with a follow. Right place, right time, Remy Martin. 67 of 50 Kansas with 8:15 left to go on the timeout taken by TCU. As TCU has just one timeout left remaining. Wow, players stepping up here for Kansas. It's the postseason. And Mitch Lightfoot, Remy Martin, 2 experienced upperclassmen. They show why Kansas is going to be a tough out in the bracket. Wow. This Kansas team this year, they've been mostly fueled by their starters. They've been having a lot of trouble getting other players to step up, get involved outside their main group, with Agbaji and Brown specifically, and then McCormack and Jalen Wilson, as he has been better throughout the course of the season, coming back from starting out a little bit later. But this is a really promising sign for Kansas here, able to get production like this from bench players. Remy Martin, 10 points from the bench. Mitchell Lightfoot with 15. Jameson, welcome in. I had beef stew before I started streaming today. If you guys are new in the stream, hit the thumbs up, spike that like, hit that subscribe. I'll be back covering Texas Tech against Oklahoma later tonight as well. Quick update, college basketball scoreboard. Creighton blowing Providence out of the water tonight, 85-54, with the final minute left to play. Props to the Creighton Blue Jays. They lost their point guard last couple of games at the end of the season. They got blown out at Providence, and man, what a difference 2 weeks makes. Unbelievable. Unbelievable for Creighton tonight. 62-58, Michigan State leading Wisconsin in the final minute. Duke, narrow lead, up by 3 over Miami, 59-56, with under 9 minutes left to play. SMU, trying to get their way into the bracket, 58-47, leading Tulsa, the 10 seed in the American tournament. Kent State up at halftime, leading Ohio 31-23. Winner of that game will play in the MAC championship tomorrow. Kentucky up by 1 against Vanderbilt, 12-11, with 14.5 left to go in the first. Shocked that is that score right now. Feel free to join the Behind the Arc Basketball Bracket Challenge if you guys are interested in doing so as well. That link is pinned in the chat, or are welcome to do so. Wow. Took him a while to get situated. Remy Martin averaged 7 points per game this season. He was the top scorer in the Pac-12 last year. Battling his way through injury. He is back, though, tonight, letting everybody know he has got 10 on the scoreboard. Back from the timeouts. Out to the wing. PV will take a 3. Missed off the back rim, battle for the rebound, and knocked out of bounds by TCU. Man, these guys are having a lot of trouble with their coordination tonight in this game for the Horned Frogs. They've had the rebounds constantly going in and out of their hands out of bounds. That was a quick timeout. We're going to go on a media timeout here. 7:55 left to go. Kansas still up by 17. Ochai Agbaji, he's the top scorer. 17 points. 15 points by Mitchell Lightfoot. 10 points by Remy Martin. Despite shooting just 1 for 8 from three-point range this half, they've been able to build their lead in the second half to 3 more points, outgaining TCU 23-20. TCU came out and they made their first 5 shots of the second half. And this game started to close in. They started to close in within single digits. The turnover has been really concerning tonight. That's a huge difference. 18 points off of TCU turnovers, scored by Kansas. That's how Kansas thrives. Points off of turnovers. 15 turnovers by TCU, 2 turnovers by Kansas. The main trouble spots for TCU, they had to stay in this game by getting second chance points. They've only got 6 second chance points all game long. They're +7 on the glass, 28-21. They've had a hard time with free throws. Hard time just staying in this type of matchup when they're around the 200s in shooting efficiency. It's all about matchups come tournament time. If I was TCU, I would not want to see Miami in the bracket. Miami, if they do come out and close it out against Duke, they might move up to a 9. TCU is looking for an 8. That Miami team is scrappy. They force turnovers constantly. 61-57, Duke leading Miami with 7 minutes left to play. I mean, that's two polar opposites working against each other. Duke has enormous size against Miami, which is a small ball type of team. Let's see what they got right now. Duke is out-rebounding Miami 35-26. Paulo Banchero is 8 for 10 shooting. 17 points, 10 rebounds by Banchero. And Miami's got themselves 5 steals. They forced 9 Duke turnovers. Miami's only got 4 total turnovers in the game. So they're winning the turnover battle as well. Now, that was a big problem when Miami beat Duke, is that Duke turned it over way too many times. So we come back from the timeout, 17-point lead. Kansas has it, bobbled, able to pick it up, though, is McCormack. McCormack, battle for the basketball there, forcing a tie-up was Peavy. It's going to be possession arrow, though, Kansas. DeJuan Harris will check back into the game. Yeah, really a lot of high hope for this TCU team. Just today, they came out extremely flat, and Kansas looking to go up to a 1 seed. The lob over the top, Ochai Agbaji. Holy smokes, brother, throws it down in a highlight reel. Dunk right there with a right hand soaring up on the housetop. Gotta see this highlight again. DeJuan Harris, the setup man, off the inbound. Coming off the corner, around, and Agbaji flies up high, right hand, throws it down, able to slip past the screen around Peavy. Lob over the top, TCU bobbles it. They're able to pick it up, though, with Cork. Cork backs his way. Defended by McCormack. Tough shot. Missed off the back rim. Offensive rebound. Follow is good. That's Damian Bow for 2. 17-point game with 7:10 left remaining. DeJuan Harris at the edge of the midcourt logo. Dribbles towards his right, hands it off to Agbaji. Bounce pass out to the left wing into the hands of Jalen Wilson. Wilson defended by Mike Miles. Towards his right, he dribbles, turns the corner. Wilson. And we get a foul. It's going to be a reach in by TCU. So reaching in, that will be number 12, Xavier Cork of the Horned Frogs. That will be team foul number 4. Kansas gets the inbound. McCormack moves it back outside to DeJuan Harris. Harris dribbles up, gives it out to the wing. Wilson, open with space, takes the 3. That's too easy. Jalen Wilson with a 3-ball. 20-point lead for Kansas. Everything is gelling right now for the Jayhawks. From Agbaji going off to other players stepping up. This team looking like a tough foul. Wilson with a defensive rebound. 6.5 left to go. Wilson attacking. Moves it outside to Harris. Dishing. Down low, McCormack. Underneath, one dribble. Blocked from behind. It will go back to TCU. Horned Frogs looking for something. 6:15 on the clock. Mike Miles. Jumper. Free throw circle. Missed off the rim. Offensive rebound. Between 2 defenders. Sneaks up. And Cork puts one up and in. They won't count the bucket, though. Foul committed before. It's going to be on Kansas. Charge to Joseph Yesufu. Wow, 8 degrees dropping. Yeah, over here, we're supposed to get like a storm tomorrow. This is supposed to be, well, yesterday it was like 50 degrees. Today it was like 25. And tomorrow is supposed to be 10 degrees in the morning. And it's supposed to be snow changing over to rain where I am. It's supposed to get warmer throughout the day. Mike Miles, 2 shots at the free throw line. First one is good. We have 6:10 left to play. Second free throw is good. By the way, Duke is leading Miami by 2, 67-65, with 4:42 remaining. We have 6 minutes left to go. Second shot missed at the line by Mike Miles. Bounce pass out to the top. They move it over to the baseline, and back foot was out of bounds by Agbaji. So a turnover by Kansas. I mean, 53% at the free throw line isn't going to win you much. That's just unfortunate for TCU. That's been one of their big Achilles heels this season. This team is great at rebounding. They've had their rebounds number in all 3 matchups. It's just they're getting shredded today defensively. That's been the problem. Giving up way too many points. SMU extending the lead over Tulsa, 67-53. SMU is right now on the bubble. It's a big game for SMU to keep on moving up. Kentucky leading Vanderbilt 20-18. We have a couple final scores to report. Yeah, you can learn a lot about a team during the conference tournaments. That's exactly what's going on right now. Creighton destroyed Providence 85-58 today. That is just devastating. You know, being a Providence fan myself, that is devastating. Michigan State's about to win over Wisconsin 67-63 in the final 6 seconds. So TCU will get the inbound, down by 20. It gets sent to the top to Damian Bow. Bow dribbles with a right hand, blocked by Lightfoot, but Lightfoot called on the blocking foul. So this will be 2 shots coming up for TCU at the line by Damian Bow. And they're in the bonus as well. I mean, being in the bonus, this will be 2 shots. Being in the bonus, it hasn't meant anything in this game today. You could put this team into the double bonus, and if you can't hit free throws, it's going to be a tough going come tournament time. I really thought that this team was dangerous. And now I'm watching them today. They're 8 of 16 at the free throw line. I saw that metric before the game, that they're in like the 320s in free throw shooting percentage. Just missed the second one. 8 of 17 tonight on free throws. 5.5 left to go. Kansas back with the possession. Maliko, welcome back in. Glad to have you back on the stream. Outside, it goes off to Brown. Brown hands it off to Harris, who moves it out to the baseline. Agbaji, looking for a matchup, settles for the jumper. Missed off the back rim, and a defensive rebound pulled down by Bow of TCU. Bow off to the races with Harris, and Harris tried to force the steal from behind. Couldn't get it there in time, though. Uh, 65-35. Thanks so much all for voting in the poll tonight as Kansas took this one. Yeah, that's right. We got 5 minutes left remaining. I would take Arizona in that one. I know Arizona had their point guard go down yesterday. Looks like a promising sign, though, for Arizona. That Kirk Kriisa, their point guard, he went down with an injury yesterday. Looks like a sprained ankle, but they're optimistic that he's going to be back for the first round. 20-point lead, Kansas with the ball. Brown gives it outside to Harris. Harris moves it over to Lightfoot. Out at the wing. Now it's to Jalen Wilson. Dribbles up, bounce pass behind the defense. Wraparound is good. Achai Agbaji. Too good a blur on the court tonight for the Kansas Jayhawks. That is now 22 points scored by Agbaji in this game. Some highlight reel type stuff, too. Down low, good for the bucket up and in. Off the glasses, that is Emmanuel Miller. Michigan State has knocked off Wisconsin today, 69-63. Under 4 minutes left to go. Wilson passes off to Brown. This is going to be a tough bracket to even judge. There's so many teams I just don't like this year in the bracket. Missed 3, are rounded out by Agbaji. TCU comes back with the basketball. Farabello on the outside, passes down low post. Lampkin, hook shot, missed off the back rim, gets his own rebound back. Off to Miller. Miller sends it to O'Bannon. O'Bannon floats it up. He scores up and in. I'd probably go Kentucky there. 75-57, TCU will take their final timeout. Alright, if you guys are new in the stream, hit the thumbs up, spike the like, hit the subscribe. Ring that notification bell as well. If you guys would like to be notified here, future live streams I do cover basketball action, play-by-play, college hoops, and NBA. Feel free to join in for the next stream I'll be covering. I think it starts around 9:30 Eastern time between Texas Tech and Oklahoma. Hopefully a much better game than this one right now. I don't think we're going to see anybody reach 75 in that one, though. Quick update on the scoreboard. Duke leading Miami 69-65, 2:30 left to play. Paulo Banchero, 17 points, 10 rebounds for Duke. We'll keep a close eye on that game. SMU doing the right thing, leading Tulsa by 15, 68-53, getting closer to the bracket for the Mustangs. 6 minutes remaining there. Kent State on a red-hot winning streak as the top team in the MAC lost today. As that was a loss earlier today by Toledo in the hands of Akron. It is Kent State leading Ohio for a chance to play in the MAC championship tomorrow. Kent State leads 37-27. Kentucky only up by 2 against Vanderbilt, 26-24. Big game for the bubble. VCU taking on Richmond. That game just tipped off 5-4 VCU. And a couple final scores. Michigan State beat Wisconsin today, 69-63. And Creighton demolished Providence, 85-58. NBA scores going on, a lot of close games. Pistons lead the Celtics 62-61 at halftime. Hawks up over the Clippers 69-68 with 8.5 in the third. Magic leading the T-Wolves tonight 100-95. The Heat lead the Cavs 41-30. Yeah, Tennessee won over Mississippi State today. Mavs winners over the Rockets, Mavs leading the Rockets right now, 47-31. Grizzlies up over the Knicks, 45-41. Hornets lead the Pelicans, 39-36. And the Jazz up early over the Spurs, 20-15. Those are a lot of scores going on. Player of the game, Mitchell Lightfoot, career high 15 points for Kansas. Comes at the right place and the right time for this Jayhawks team that were looking for more players to step up. They found one tonight with number 44 in the court, the super senior for Kansas. 3:10 left to play. TCU brought the energy first 5 minutes of the game. They couldn't sustain it for the final 35. And Kansas brought Ochai Agbaji to the house, and he delivered in a big performance once again tonight. A couple big-time dunks, a couple alley-oop jams, one of them a poster off of an inbounds, and having himself an incredible night here by Agbaji. 22 points, the game leader. 2:48 left to play. TCU just got fouled, so they're going to head back to the free throw line. First shot missing off the front rim as that is Damian Bow. Second shot coming up, that's good. I mean, it's not a bad strategy for Kansas in the game to do what they've done and put TCU into the double bonus like they've done right now, because they know that TCU is going to just get 1 point out of the possession. 2:40 left to play. Brown defended on the outside, gives it over to Wilson. Passes off to Remy Martin. They got a solid performance out of him tonight as well off the bench. Remy with 10 points. Pass deflected, stolen away by TCU. Final 2 minutes and 20 seconds. TCU at the top. Damian Bow moves it off to Farabello. Cross-court pass to the left wing. 3 on its way. That's good. Knocking down the triple. That's O'Bannon. He's up to 15, the top scorer, surpassing Miles with 14 tonight for the Horned Frogs. 2 minutes left to play. Remy Martin dribbles back outside. Gives it over to Harris. 15 on the shot clock. Harris passes out to the right corner. Brown dribbles into the key. Falling away. Jumper. Off the back rim. Tipped up. Battle for the rebound. Pulled down by O'Bannon of TCU. Final minute and 40 left to go. TCU with a possession. Top of the key with Bow. Bow dribbles up. Floats up the shot. And there's contact on that one. It's going to result in a Remy Martin blocking foul, and the clock will stop with 1:33 left to play. So it's going to be 2 shots coming up at the free throw line for TCU. First one is good. Feel free to join in next stream. I'll be covering Texas Tech against Oklahoma. You guys are welcome to join in for that one part of the doubleheader tonight. Second shot missed off the front rim by Damian Bow of TCU. Goes right back to Kansas. TCU has to get ready for the tournament now. 10 of 21 at the free throw line tonight. Kansas just keep on dribbling it. Forcing time to keep on winding down. 1:15 left to play. Remy Martin dribbles up, drives, and ball gets swatted from behind. So there was contact on that too. A foul occurred. It's going to be called on Solomane Doumbia of TCU. Kansas gets the inbound. 1:10 left to play. Martin hands it off. Wilson gives it over to DeJuan Harris. Deep range 3. Off the front rim, missed, and the rebound pulled down by TCU. Final 45 seconds. TCU with the ball. Mike Miles crossover attacks. Lost the handle. Tap to the bounce. It's going to stay TCU basketball. I posted my streaming schedule for this weekend. I'm gonna take the afternoon off tomorrow though, because I got a lot of stuff to do during the afternoon. So tomorrow night, not sure what I'm going to cover at 6 or 6:30. If UConn advances to the Big East Championship, I'm going to cover the Big East Championship for tomorrow. If UConn loses to Villanova, then I'll cover the Big 12 title game. And then the ACC Championship game right after. But Sunday, I'll be doing the SEC Championship game. So all Arkansas has to do, get the victory, and I'll be doing that one hopefully on Sunday. Great showing today by Kansas. efficient victory all around. 50% from the floor today for the Jayhawks. They only made 2 threes as a team, but just right at the rim, exploding for 42 points in the paint in this matchup here for Kansas. 75-62. As we basically have the bench players checking into the game now. Final 20 seconds left to go. Strong showing by by Mitchell Lightfoot tonight. 15 points by him. Acha Agbaji top scorer with 22. And a big game as well. Coming off the bench, Remy Martin getting it to double figures, scoring tonight. He had 10 points for Martin in 19 minutes. So Kansas pulling out the victory. 75-62 final score over TCU. Kansas going to advance to the Big 12 championship game to take on the winner of Texas Tech against Oklahoma. Thanks so much all for joining in. I'll be back in a little bit for Texas Tech against Oklahoma. We're going to take probably, I think, like a half an hour break or so. And then we'll be back coming up in a little bit for Texas Tech against Oklahoma. Hopefully a much better and more competitive game than this one was for the first one tonight. Before I do sign off, spike the thumbs up, hit the like, hit the subscribe, ring that notification bell as well. Thanks so much all for joining in. Feel free to join back again for Texas Tech against Oklahoma in a half an hour. And we're going to close out to the channel members. All channel members get a shout out as we have Jason, Cindy, Rajeep, Old Ed Deuce, Brian, SG Sports Talk, Russell, D-Block, BP Greg, Oreo Pudding, Bino, Arahan, Mike, Mark, John, Jessica, Stephanie, Ahino Joseph, Elkiangia for 90, Woody, Warren, I Am Ghost, Pamela, Keith, Isaiah, Man and Hayes, Barco, Dave, Rides of Steel, and Kelly. Big victory by Kansas. Moving on to the Big 12 championship game as they win 75-62, the final over TCU. Thanks so much, everybody, and feel free to join back in around a half an hour for Texas Tech against Oklahoma.